Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm putting a belt on this Huskee LT4200 lawnmower, and I'd like to show you what's going on. So I got this new belt going on. So what you do is you put it around this front pulley first. How did I get it around the front pulley? It was actually pretty easy. So this red thing here is screwed to the body, screwed to the frame on the other side. On this side, all you have to do is push it out like anyway, let's see. There. You push it out of the way like that. Okay, so that allows you room to be able to stick the belt underneath here and loop it around over the pulley. And then you take this and put it right back in the hole. There. That's all you gotta do for that one. So I bought this belt by Troy Built, and it shows the diagram. So hopefully if you buy a belt, or if you already know your diagram, if you just took a belt off, see, my belt broke and we've had this terrible summer, and it's actually been like 2 months since I've cut grass. So I figured I'd go ahead and put a belt on now and give this grass one final cut before we get into the winter time. But I'm going by this diagram, and this is the front pulley that it's around. Then it loops around these two small pulleys, and then loops around these other pulleys that's on each side that's driving the blades. Then it comes straight across the back. Now, it's not all that simple. You got to take these guards off. It's right here and right here, like this. So they got 3 screws in each one, and this side of mine is broke. So what I do is I've got a washer on one side to help hold it in place. And now these are going to be, these have got like a brake thing right here. I haven't gotten to that yet, but some of these pulleys have like a little guard or something, and it's not much of a guard. It's just like one little thing that stays right there beside. It's like kind of like my finger. It may be coming up from the bottom, but it stays right beside the pulley, and that way it'll keep the belt from coming off. So what I've got here is I'm gonna loosen this up, this nut up enough. I may have to take the pulley all the way off, you know, lift it all the way off, so I can get it loose enough that I can get the belt in between the pulley and its little guard that it's got back here underneath my pointy finger back here. There's guard. Now I've already got it this loose. I've been loosening up on it, and I've got all my screws and everything and bolts and everything that I've replaced over the years on this car. I mean, this lawnmower, they are factory spec. You know, I go to the website and I see what it's supposed to have, and then usually I'll buy it off eBay. What this is a 9/16 on top, and the head of it is also a 9/16. But what I've got, I broke it loose a little bit and then it tightened up. It appears like it's one of those, I don't know, maybe a jam nut, but this is a 9/16 on the other end. And what I'm doing here is I've just got another wrench stuck up underneath it, because otherwise this wrench would fall off the bottom. Okay, it's an opening and wrench. So what this is doing is this is lifting the other wrench up and holding it in place. That way the wrench won't slip off while I'm trying to loosen this up. So what I'll end up doing is just holding on to this one. This is going to do its job, just sitting here, and I'll loosen it up with this one. And all I'm trying to do is trying to loosen it up to where I can get this guard back out of the way, and or the pulley out of the way, so I can get the belt around it. So I got it off, and I just want to show it to you. I went ahead and took it all the way off. That way I could rotate the bearings and see what the bearings feel like. They feel decent. I'm not sure if I've ever replaced this before or not. Maybe have. This is a hard insert in the middle due to the color and the way it looks. I can't help but wonder if maybe it's a carbide insert to prevent wear. That'd make that joker pretty expensive probably. But anyway, I'm happy with the condition that this is in. This is the nut that came on it. Looks like it's one of those that has the nylon on the inside, so it helps keep it tight. So that's what I was working with. And see, that's that stop that I was talking about that keeps the belt from coming off. So I'm gonna put this back on there together and put the belt around it whenever I put it back in there. All right, y'all, if y'all know any easier ways to put these belts on, I would love to hear it, but I'm just showing you the way that I do it, and hopefully it'll help somebody out that doesn't know any better, okay? Okay, so here we go, I've got it put back on. I went ahead and put the belt on it at the same time as I was putting the pulley on. Still got my wrenches here. Unfortunately, my wrenches aren't resting across on the belt anymore, so hopefully that's still be in the right spot. I've got my nut on, and I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this down and see if you can see it back there. But here's this little deal that helps keep the belt from coming off. All right, let me get this tightened up. And I've already got it routed around this side of the pulley here. Then I'll move on to the other side. So that was a 9/16 on both sides, and I just used this other wrench to lift up this 9/16 to hold it on the nut, okay? I'm putting that pulley back on. Also, this was on the side that the grass ejects from. Okay, so this would be the left-hand side of the lawnmower if you're sitting in the chair, and same thing over here. It needs to be around that middle pulley, and that middle pulley, you'll notice here, has also another one that stops to help keep the belt from coming off. So I'm gonna take this one off also, and y'all, some of this stuff can be a real pain when you start loosening it up. Like this one here, I think you actually have to access from the bottom, or if there's a hole underneath here. I can feel it with my finger. I've got the deck sitting on the ground, so I may have to lift it up or either stick something underneath there. You're supposed to be able to stick a socket wrench or something underneath there. Some people I see, they'll take these whole decks off just to change the belt out. I've never done that before. I've never taken my deck off, obviously, because it's so dirty, huh? So we're gonna figure out a way that we can get this off without taking the deck off, and because I never have. And see, once you start breaking some of this stuff loose on this one, this thing comes loose and all kind of stuff. So when you take these loose, like I did on the other one, that whole little mechanism there comes loose. So just be cautious when you're putting it back together and don't lose any of your parts. So right off the bat, I already broke it loose, and I don't have anything on the bottom of it, but I feel like the bolt is just gonna spin. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to end up I was able to break the other side loose without putting anything on the head of the bolt. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. As of right now, it's all good. I'm sure you don't want to just sit here and watch me unwrench this. Looseness. What's going on? This is way easier than I thought. Okay, so I didn't take it all the way off. I may have to put a wrench on the back of it to be able to get it tightened up, but that's enough. That should be enough gap to be able to squeeze that belt on there. Not sure if you can see it or not, but I've got this thing pretty loose. I should be able to put the belt in between here and get my finger between there. It's tight. Okay, so that didn't work. That's not loose enough. So I've got the nut off. I just finished taking it off my thumb. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my hand underneath here to keep this bolt from falling underneath the deck. Then I'm going to take the pulley off. I'm going to check the bearings in it just like I did the other side. And then I'm going to put the belt around it. Now I may run into some difficulty because the belt on the other side is not underneath its guard either. So I might better stop what I'm doing and fix that. So, see that little angled piece of metal that the belt is sitting on to the right of? I'm gonna take that loose so I can put the belt underneath it. Let me go do that. Y'all, so I had something within reach that I could grab and stick underneath that bolt so it didn't fall through the deck before I went over to the other side and put that little brace on. Okay, so this is what I need to do. This piece right here, the belt needs to be going under here. I need to loosen that screw up, and y'all, it's the same thing as these screws here that hold this guard on. Hold this guard on. So what that is what size is that? That's it's a 3/8. All right, so I'm probably not gonna take it all the way off. I'm probably just gonna loosen it up We'll see how that goes. Like I say, it's been a while since I put a belt on this thing, so we'll see how memory serves me. So loosen this up. Still got the socket sitting on it. See how it's flopping? All right, that's all I need to get the belt underneath it and tighten it back down. So I'm gonna run the belt through here. Then I believe it sits right here, if I remember correctly. Maybe, or either it's down in here. Anyway, because we'll tighten it down. If it's right here, there's no way the belt's getting up from underneath it, unless the belt breaks. All right, let me get this tightened back down. Okay, so once I got this thing tightened back down, got it sitting right here. And this is the nut that the screw that I broke loose to loosen this stuff up so I can get the belt underneath here, okay? Now, I'm gonna have to end up taking the tension off this, like in this way, because there's tension on it, in order to be able to get the belt around the other pulleys. I should have done the other side first. So check this one out. This one actually doesn't sound that good. It sounds like metal on metal inside the bearing. This one looks the same as the other one. The other one was darker. It kind of made me wonder if it was carbide. Maybe it was just like a heat-treated metal that was never polished back up. I don't know, but that's really not too good. One of these days I'm going to change that out. Not next summer. It definitely won't be this summer, because summer's over. So, the grass and junk out of the way before I put all this back together. But see the pulley mechanism over there, and it's got the springs and stuff. I may have to relieve the tension off the belt to be able to get some of these belts back on here. We'll have to see how that goes. Okay, so what I've done is I've just taken the belt and wrapped it around this pulley. I'm still on the side, on the left-hand side. I've wrapped it around this pulley, and I've got it laying in here. That's the bolt head that this other pulley is going to go on. And this is the stop that keeps it from coming off the pulley. Okay, so I've got it wrapped around here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this other pulley back on the bolt with the belt around it, okay? I wish I could do it on camera, but I can't. Okay, so there it is. Now the bolt head isn't sticking through. I'm gonna have to play with that, stick my finger up underneath there and trying to get it through the top. I hope it's not gonna fall through the deck. This thing right here appears to have slipped. It was sitting up here kind of on the edge. Got to get that bolt head back through and put the nut on top. But if you see, it's on the inside of the pulley, between the pulley and this guide here that keeps it coming off the pulley. And it comes around here and goes straight across through the back of the deck to the other pulley. Now there should be a diagram. Like I say, this diagram came on the back of the package for the Troy-Bilt belt that I bought. If not, if you're just replacing your belt, pay attention how your belt came off there. Take some pictures. Here we are back again, and I've got it on. This is where I've got this thing sitting. So we've got the lower part on the deck down in here, and then we've got the pulley, and I've got this sitting up on the ridge. Okay, I didn't have to end up sticking a wrench or anything on the back side of that, which I was really surprised about. I don't know if that joker's rusted to it or what, but there is a hole in the deck underneath there, so you could stick a socket wrench to it. I've had to do that before in the past. And I've got the nut tightened down. The pulley is in the correct location. I'm going to engage the pulley and make sure everything works correctly. This right here underneath my thumb, that's not a thumb, underneath my pointy finger there, that's a brake. Okay, well, And there's one also on the other one. Okay. Brake on each one of these. So, pulley. This is a spindle. These bolts come through the deck on the bottom into these spindle housings, and the blades are attached to the bottom of these. I've had to replace these once before on this lawnmower. These are newer ones. The ones that I took off, they were actually still decent. I was having some trouble with my lawnmower, and it got down to it. Some of my components were just worn out, and one of my spindles. I don't know if I warped them or something. I held on to them. I didn't get rid of them. The lawnmower had a lot of vibration to it. The bearings didn't seem like they were shot. I've changed them before, and they were just totally wore out. But I really got off the subject of changing belts, didn't I? So let me get up here and see how well this thing engages. So that would be PTO on. Belt's tight. As far as I can tell, the belt's tight. That one's sitting, as far as I can tell, everything's sitting right. That one rides kind of high, but I guess it's okay. I didn't see anything else wrong with it. It's one thing I don't like about that, but that is the one. That's the one with the drive mechanism. The pulley that's, I'm sorry y'all, it's right here. This is the one that actually moves back and forth when you engage it. So there's several other components to the way all this stuff is put together. So this belt back here on the other side, this pulley, and not the far one over there right next to where it ejects the grass, but this one right here. This is kind of on a moving thing to where whenever you engage the belt, this moves over towards the center of the lawnmower and puts tension on the belt. And whenever you disengage the PTO, it moves over to the right side of the deck and it relieves the tension off the belt. So there we are. So I'm going to fire this joker up and see how we do. Thank y'all for watching this video. Hope y'all have a wonderful and pleasant day. Bye.